Mame na wasese watwe amaya kwaba Adekye Nsroma no ani guso a wo hwe medical dia to ahwefo nyina anim sende mene opanyina woda kokoboda no eba ba betwetwe enkomo sene so see stream live wo Facebook on Instagram on YouTube into betimi de wadwenkyere so aba wada remode ba ya ma wokasa no honte sebi kase fia mintimi kenkan emfa ema nkomo na ye ba bebo menim se nei ekuafo nyina enso aye krado nti obi eba be hwe ni mo apinchichi mu nso eyiye enche bia na ban yi de betudwa se nei kokon tumu de aba ene pepes no enso so e de ho nsem bia ba I minority enso ka se de bi almost say de be saka wa pricing ebi se ye insult enti ene menye opanyini wo ha say de ye ba bebo enkomo Dr. Randy Abe ewo ahase doc me mo watna say maybe I work out there good to see you.
Good to see you too. Good to see you too.
From being a broadcast journalist, who hosted political shows from there, and there has been a transition. Waba a cocoa board. My journey nekaka to say now we be fully what me as settle.
Oh, say the like I say my settle. Say there's about 7 months.
Oh.
It at least my talk cocoa regions then but to me I share reports but to me be some I believe say my settle.
Oh, okay. And that's not the first time I went by UTV.
My very first time. Na Peace FM na near Diagro. Because I said those days na me regular panelists Fridays. Menu Kwame show so for years.
Wow.
Until now, at least na every Friday no na me wa ha until me we TV ana mabaha no because na me pontem until no mabaha until now every Friday na near wa ha for many years ansa injuma ne dos no na afi de emre no eni ho papa until to me amba biom but UTV there my very first time be raha there until time mo si ni nyina no na me were around almost set happening na no na me were around but not member my studio say that member my program so say that but anytime I get the opportunity of watching TV no I watch so I've seen you a few times and I think you're doing a great job too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then so the first time I wabaha unya opposition would with you man so I know in comedy. My main take the opportunity to congratulate you.
Thank you very much. That's super.
Na dog who buy ye minim say wo emfamamu na te say de wo kan ye wo to me so me de meni de chire woni kokko akuafo so akwakodi enkomo na ansa na abanyi ebe nyetumi aba no so no wo kan ensem bebre o mo ba me kai that time no said ye na kokko ni si ton no e wo adwaman so no mo susu se enke ye de sikabotin bi me akuafo na o mo susu sa na akuafo no e deserve but se akuafo hwe ni mo sentum mo beba o mo so mo dwalai pa o mo so mo for price na sikam ni ntum no enye encouraging emma wo mo
okay
coin be so na mo fa e de epege price no
enti me dase power for the opportunity and me feel says yanyina yeto yambo na se yetie enkyerɛkyerɛnum na se yewo nsɛmbisa bi ne ade eto ho ne enya emu nkyerɛmu a MC ebeti niama bebree ase kakra. Now first of all no nim say cocoa just like any other export or Ghana no yen ton no in cedis. We all know that is a fact.
Yes.
Say cocoa yen ton cocoa in cedis. Yen ton cocoa in US dollars. Into bia cocoa price say na cocoa bia monitor price whether a spot, whether a hedging, whether a average over a period in US dollars. Into cocoa board no cocoa no or ton no in US dollars. Sa US dollars no ena omo moto cocoa no etuaka. No mutua sa aka na sika no eba Bank of Ghana because enu so ena aban e stabilize Ghana currency. Foreign exchange na e free cocoa mu eba no. Enti ye ton cocoa no US dollars ena Sikanaba Bank of Ghana na Bank of Ghana ni exchange rate ena ono e de ama cocoa board in cedis what you say enti ye ton cocoa no US dollars Sikanaba Ghana to Central Bank Bank of Ghana in US dollars now Central Bank and Bank of Ghana no ono apply Bank of Ghana exchange rate na odisa cedis no ama cocoa board na cocoa board nso e the cedis no ema licensed buying companies omo na omo to cocoa no every equafo on behalf of cocoa board enti omo na omo ne equafo no nya sa director yi no omo we cocoa no no mo ti omo ka no ma jiska no e wo cocoa board ho ana cocoa board mo muska no mo de akoto whichever way it is enti this is how the transaction flows enti we sell the cocoa in US dollars it is paid in US dollars. Na yetua US dollars na eba Central Bank. Enti eno ene dia ebe free fango ho aba, de ebe free gold ho aba. Ne nyina na Central Bank eyusu e de stabilize currency, e de create yen reserves. It is our dollars no na ochina obi kokra emu ana anwa ana fango ana eya e na Bank of Ghana e release my banks ene e de year importation. Enti dollar no a foreign exchange earning for Ghana. Enti dollar no is not given to cocoa board. And I'm explaining this just to make a point. Enti se cocoa board ton a de any dollar. Sa dollar no no any friend no FOB price no. Bon. Na ma mintre bibi sumu. Cocoa no your main crop and your light crop.
Light.
Okay. Now main crop no light crop no you might discount because of size of being there, you know. Into light crop and main crop no they are not sold at the same price. Into there's always about a 20% discount on the light crop. Into the main crop your young fan is at 10,000. There will be like a $2,000 discount on light crop. Into light crop number $8,000. However, see a certain price now. Yentua farmer no a different rate for main crop and a different rate for light crop.
Oh.
It is yentua X amount per tonne. Whether it is light crop or main crop, kuafo no yentua same price. However, na see tonne light crop no has a discount. Now why I am explaining this, they say sometimes no, if you don't have this information now, then people can just go on the internet, Google and then make comparisons. In Tiamfani say o production here 500,000 tons. Maybe a light crop about 150,000 and a main crop about 350,000 tons. What it means they say Oberton 350,000 tons 10,000 and Oberton 150,000 tons 8,000. Enti Bronisi Ober dia omo friend weighted average. Into Uber factor 350 at 10,000 and 150 at 8,000. Then that will give you a weighted average. So that is what you earn for a ton.
Okay.
What did I mention?
Okay, so enya 100% 10,000.
Yes, because enya will yield na and main crop. What did I mention? But u farmer no dear, utiano the same price. It doesn't matter whether it is light crop or main crop.
Na farmers so aware of the light and then the main.
Oh, they know. Omunim.
Okay.
Omunim.
But mama also are aware so say ne buono difference ewo.
Me jidisa because many farmers think it some of these things come up. But I mean, but you can't say there's nothing wrong with continuing to explain it. Ebia obinim, ebia no binsu nim. But I'm just telling you what the facts are.
Okay.
So I know what the issues are. Mainly, you can talk about this. Anytime you see, ebia your total yield for the year was 600,000 and not 500,000. Then you have to break it down. 500,000, how much of that in a main crop? How much of that in a light crop? Especially a lot of the processing companies don't rely on light crop because of the discount. Because main crop no to me that competitive in terms of cost. But like I said, we pay farmer no the same, whether it's light crop or main crop. There be no pricing now. You need to look at say 500,000. How many light crop are you expecting, and then main crop, and then you do that. That's what gives you the average price. That's one. Now 2, there is also something your friend rollover. The fan is a 24-25 season. Ye is our season. No, ye season. No, contracts are signed. You know, to me deliver ni na. Because utons are cocoa at a particular price. To me deliver ni na. So when to me and deliver, how many of that and I went to me and deliver. Because why it becomes important, they say, Ube you shoot the following season of 25-26, a cocoa, and they are settled. They are going to me and deliver. No.
Then I will roll in over.
And also price has to be factored. And that is what happened 24-25. In the course of the conversation, I will explain that to you. These are the things that go in. That is why you then determine the airfare weighted average. It's our weighted average, no, it's in US dollars. It's in US dollars. Into years our weighted average in US dollars. And then now you determine they are all the stakeholders, no. Ebenya. This is done in US dollars. It is a farmer, no. What percentage of sa FOB no in US dollars? And I would my farmer. At the end, buyers, no, licensed buying companies. Or margin at the end, haulers, transporters, no, because farmer, no, from your farm gate, no, transporting the cocoa, no, to take over centers and to the ports, no, and your responsibility. Haulage for NSA, man, almost or margin. Then your gradient ceiling. Omo say are there no quality, no quantity, no pepe, and also then now there's warehousing, and there is there's warehousing, there is shipping, and there's marketing of the cocoa, trading, no, and also no almost more there. Then you have cocoa board, and so at there. Then you have what you want to call farmer support, and industry cost, and also sad money in these are all stakeholders. It would determine farmer need here in US dollars, and then you determine all these other stakeholders.
Okay.
It will be 24-25 season. They say no. Omo declare FOB no. Farmer no. Omo man no 63.9%. FOB omo declare 24-25 year $4,850. $4,850. That's what they declared. And now farmer no nya 63.9%.
And it represented $3,100.
$100, no. $3,100 a ton.
Oh yeah.
A ton. So that was the farmer share. So this is done in dollars. Then all the other stakeholders now make no. Omo there the bomwa 36.1%. It is our 4,850 as 100% FOB, which was declared 24-25 season in November. No. Farmer share $3,100 US dollars. So mind you, it was determined in dollars, not cedis. It was 63.9% of a dollar value, $4,850. There no nema or $3,100 for the farmer. Until oba na buyer no imagine or no su benya there transporter and a haulers omo there way more there then it comes down to the last one. That's 36.1%. Now, when your dollar value no, then now because Bank of Ghana receives the dollar, and then Bank of Ghana will give you cedis. So now Bank of Ghana applies the exchange rate. Until before Uber fix it price, not they said they fix it, and then I'm saying
there should be consultation.
Central Bank is part of. There's a committee I friend producer price review committee. Now producer price review committee now on the technical committee first. In the technical committee in Asia, so what is the average price we are looking at for 25-26 season? No, in Tibia, young fan say we are looking at an average of $7,800. The $7,800, no, a quantity any share. Young fan say we are 600,000. 600,000, no, main crop quantity saying. Maybe your main crop you expect 450,000. Light crop you expect 150,000. Okay, it is a main crop here 450,000. That means that we are going to sell 450 at let's say $7,800. So light crop 150,000 and we are going to do a 20% discount. Then we apply that. Until then we have two prices. One price for 450,000 tons, one price for 150,000 tons. Then you strike the average. This is in normal times when you don't have any rollover.
Oh.
But when you have a rollover like this situation, like the situation of 24-25, and then now 25-26, then you have a third factor.
What's the third factor?
Which is the rollover. In Tianfan, said for this one, no, there's a rollover of about 100,000 tons.
From 24?
No, from 23-24.
Oh.
23-24, no, Cocoa Board signed contracts for cocoa. Our ton $2,600 one per ton.
Per ton.
23-24. $2,600 a ton no ton. Says in Iberia, no, Cocoa Board and to me and supply 333,767 tons. 333,767 tons.
And then no be rolling over a bar.
Yeah, ton 2,600. Until now, no, oh yeah, 24-25, no.
Yeah, 3,000.
Now there's 333,767 tons. You were supposed to supply 23-24. Went to me and supply. But who ton 2,600? Until I was already 24-25 cocoa.
Yeah, 3,100. No, coach here 2,600.
In fact, what happened is that is why our weighted average number 4,850. The unfortunate situation is that Cocoa Board, any abano at that time, did not tell Ekuyafono, any Ghana for, and even Parliament of Ghana, say, although amu who say cocoa prices akosrune you yen to me massa buono because 23-24 no ye sign contract eton cocoa 2,600 but yen to me and supply 333,767 tons.
Parliament
nobody was aware.
Farmers
they were not aware. Patrol bisa farmers if they were told when the 24-25 pricing was done. We and Semtroni uti u studio and now here with Jumano uti da say you bear 24-25 pricing no ya ton cocoa 333,000 over 333,000 tons $2,600 yen to me and supply enti se si abo no kosoro no e was here did sa cocoa na ye be produce 24-25 no eko tua sa 26 no. So that is how come ushe ene cocoa 24-25 time I year two year cocoa bono. That cocoa bono ene. Cocoa prices were higher than today. 24-25. They were higher than today. But how come say neno yet to me declare FOB of $7,200? But then when the prices were higher than today, no, we declared 4,850. What explains that? So that explanation, no, is what I found out when I entered Cocoa Board. So there was a rollover. Until se be supply, until for 24-25 season, you supply about 233, a little over 230,000 of sa 2,600 no. Until the 24-25 higher prices no, and the supply sa cocoa no.
It's not just a banner na no o minor boka.
Until say yes as a wuti Cocoa Board that's a your pricing. Anything I made in common starting from all. Say your pricing until say no uti wa. Okay. Main crop saying $8,000. Okay. Yeah, production target for 25-26 then. Yes, you 600,000 tons. Okay. 600,000 tons, you know. I hear a woman main crop. Yes, you 450,000. Light crop 150,000. Okay. International say 450,000 no. And only able to be 8,000 no. What you say? However, no, there's a third factor. There's a rollover of 333,000 tons. How many of that quantity, no, and at 24-25, you best supply. So assuming say who agree say we best supply 250,000 of that 2,600 now. Naturally say although a cocoa price $8,000 no, we $600,000 no, we the 250.
Ekotuya
26. That is a 250,000 tons now 2,600 and awoji, not 8,000. It is our 450 now. A main crop nanka odi beji 8,000. Udi emu 250. Ekoji 26. Because we have signed contract for 26 at one supply.
Okay. Doc, per foundation awole no CCA amaye nyasanti ase no. Do you think sir se wonni office ho no manase se wonni abemu to know sa niam we see ekoso na ese etimi ede cocoa pricing eye amanyo semo na because se me share you know then that's an opposition party and now more abemu NDC that time no mo share FOB na no mo gina so ka say cocoa ekuyafo e deserve this price enti e ba na sa na yenso ye betimi aboa ama mo sa price we say yenya to me na now CD no I appreciate it said the na dollar no esi tie den no enti sa ene and I'm pretty sure so that's the reason TNT ama yenya sa conversation we say nyina ma ekuyafo so e kasa in your opinion do you think say I see a politicize it in terms of a pricing of cocoa?
You see, as far as I'm concerned no everything is political. But for me, the missing link no is transparency and provision of information. Because at the end of the day, no, that is why media sisu say I'll go all out in the media to put the facts out. That's why me bisa will say time na sa controversy ekoso about pricing no 24-25 where say California say in case you say yes you say no. Did you hear this part of the conversation say, oh yes, price no akosoro. However, no 23-24 no
rollover
ye cotton cocoa 2,600. Yen to me and supply. Yen to me and supply no say be 50,000. But 333,000. Ti all do amu say cocoa akọ 10,000, akọ 9,000, akọ eyi no. Ye wo over 300,000 na. Ya sign contract at on 26. I was say ye di ene cocoa na ne bo ekosoro no ekotuaka. Enti cocoa na mo be produce no e fa e di call for 26. Enti because of that no don't expect to say price na wu hu no ye betumi amount. Enti a no people can then now begin to question you about ne saying na when to me and supply 333,000. Who no yibia no akoba enyesa. But if these facts had been made available, it would have changed the conversation. So everybody will know say ye cotton cocoa 2,600 ye to me and supply. It is a say a cocoa no ekosoro no ye de no efa ekotua.
Na ene ya wo office ho no me. Ususu say eniema ben 90 me ma ne ba say ye beji sika no but yentimi ma sa supply nti ma yenya sa
well we production forecaster. I mean in statistics no there's always a margin of error. In terms of say if you have 5%, the infant even 10%. 10% off projections. What you say? If it's either 10% more, 10% less, you can manage it. But when you have a situation a projection here off by about 40%, then it has to be investigated. There must be something seriously wrong with what went on.
So that was the past administration on projection.
Yeah, that was 23-24.
So does it mean so math na enka na
and I make us say 2027 cocoa board ebenya 80 years. Inti enye adwuma afena obi start here. Uko cocoa board offer left Dr. This, offer right Dr. This. A lot of professionals, top-notch people, highly qualified people there. In fact, syndicated loan no, by 2023-24 no na cocoa board has syndicated loan for 32 years. So in terms of expertise ni way no cocoa board is one of the places that you'd find the most qualified people there. And I'm saying say there cocoa board I close to 80 years, 78 years.
So during that period, what was the problem?
So that's why so there are two things that marvel me. One, why was this disclosure not made? Especially when it was a very debatable issue. Even on the floor of parliament, people were in parliament were raising the issue. Yes, cocoa farmer. Yes, how come say This information, which in my view led to the level of pricing at that time, and this is information I know because I'm now at Cocoa Board and I have access to the information. How come this was not made known? I'm here. I've told you, say, you're pricing for 24-25, no? So at 333,000, we are carrying on about 100,000. We've done about 230 something thousand for 24-25. We are carrying on about 100,000. So what it means, they say, yeah, pricing, no? About 100,000 of 25-26 production, no? Ebeko at 26. Because at the end of the 100,000, I did clear. So at the end of 23-24, no? Into yeah, pricing, no? Yeah, main crop, yeah, light crop, no? We are also factoring there about 100,000 of the 2,600. Into no normal weighted average, no? About from into no because share price or between Akasobia. Oh, your share price now about 7-8. And mind you, it's an average from your BSCs in Ochra. Into from Yemfan is 7th August, no to 31st July. So you do an average over that. Then Bank of Ghana and Subamao, an average of the exchange rate over the same period.
Talking about a exchange rate, and do you think, say, now a banner price and exchange rates and it mean are affected, and that's even appreciation of the cedi, and then you know any dollar not say above form no affected price and
definitely, because the variables for pricing, no, one is the FOB, the achieved FOB, and not projected FOB. Until we project say FOB, no, the average price in the Bay Fan is $7,800 over the period. Your project is say you buy 650,000 tons over the period. Your project is say 650,000 tons, no, 500,000 ebe main crop, 150 be light crop. Until your yes calculation, no, so 500,000 main crop, no, 100,000 be call for 26. Until now we are dealing with three prices, 7-8. By let's say 400,000, 26 by 100,000, and then if you do the 20% for the light crop by 150, so there are three prices now. These are three prices, no, and now be strike average, no. It will strike is average now $1. Now strike is average, then now you determine will be our share all the stakeholders. And it say NDC a manifesto any omanpening Mahama or promise they say farmer ne benya 70%. Normally there's a band of 60 to 70. So 60 is supposed to be the lowest, 70 the highest. So like I explained to you, no, 24-25, no, almost declare 4,850, no. Farmer no was given 3-1, which was 63.9. But who decided say Obama farmer no 70. And it say no sa dollar value, no.
The 70%.
The 70%. Into for 25-26, no, we're looking at $7,200.
Okay.
From $4,850. It's moved to $7,200. Now 70% no of $7,200 no, $5,040. 63.9% of $4,850 no was $3,100. Now 24-25 no. Exchange rate was 16. Into $3,100 times 16 exchange rate is what then gives you the cedi value. Into a nano suno $5,040. Into Usha, you have an increase from $3,100 to $5,040. But once you have the dollar value, no, that's the first thing. You now need to multiply it by the exchange rate. So, for example, if exchange rate was still 16 cedis, the $5,040 would have been 80,600.
So let's assume, sir, the past administration, Nanka, once I know we used to a year, 16 cedis, pay exchange rates, and Nanka $80,000 the year came. And come maintaining and asking come to me a day bag, 64 kg. It could do, let's say 6,000. Now exchange rate and also about I think some used to about 10.25.
10.25, yes. That's the average a Bank of Ghana mine for the period.
And now come up say.
So this is what happened. This is what happened. What we say after March, no, then I see the tier.
Yeah.
Until me at Cocoa Board, no. In case I make sure Krata Street, Emma license buying companies ne say because $3,100. Don't forget to say ade no ye ton US dollars. Enye cedis. Enti cocoa na ye de ko na dollar. And a dollar and Bank of Ghana. And you are determined farmer share in dollars. 3-1. Into 3-1, then you apply the exchange rate. Into see the tiba form no about average of 10 no. Now in case you farmer no 31,000 for the ton. And 1,970, I believe, for the bag, not 3-1. On the base of the exchange rate.
After say dollar no it depreciates.
Yeah, no? Yes, because you see, it's not as if said they are yes set price, you know. And I ton cocoa no. Cocoa no is sold over a period. That is why you do the average. But say any of the variables no, a cost through beyond a certain band, and a from beyond a certain band, then you need to do an adjustment. What's the ambition I say? It's at least from April no, 9K say bag no, echo 1,970. Now ton no echo I think 31,775 or so. I know my penning John Mahama. So I had to do my analysis. Now be the coach minister, Dr. Atufosin. Said, look, this is the thing. So we now need to drop it because he said, no, baby, I see the need to be able to pay farmer no 3-1. 3-1 no, we need $4,800. And no more far away. Meanwhile, no 4,850 is the total FOB. Now my farmer no 3-1. That is what was set. And now no. But they say no to maintain subsidy value no, you need $4,800. So naturally say all the other stakeholders no, almost 36.1% no, about 0.20%. And a farmer no, 63.9% no, accord 99.80%. And a government say no, don't do that. We will subsidize. From that time no, Omanpeni Mama Abino has been subsidizing the cocoa farmer by 1,114 cedis a bag, so that cocoa bought from yes, how much in the April no. Yes, cedi no drop here no. No dollar. Yeah, dollar no drop here no. So because to pay the same cedi no, we have $4,800. No longer 3-1. So there was a subsidy of 1,114 cedis for all the period until the season ended. That's what happened. So that's how come we're still buying the cocoa and paying the farmer the same amount of money because government was subsidizing by 1,114. So it technically no, in current fund say from April no, nanka bag no, 1,970, not 3-1. So what you actually should be comparing no is like 1,970 to 3,228.
But don't when say the lay person any ye papa ye mama no no ye nkrasi o no ye cocoa farmers na de usually no and some ya wo mo ete any boshe o mo tie no eno an o mo de eye wo mo a plant. Now for the purpose of education enti say e ba no e cocoa price na obi te ne computer echi na wo bo eye market and as a world market price onim figure e wo honom, but in reality no as cocoa board meaning say as a someone so mutimi enya price na said e be ya o chine bi no say e bo no kosoro say tiba fomu en affect mo bebre. That's the hedging meboa.
Yes.
Now mo da so e yesa na say mo nye kwan be so na mo fa so e determine price.
Until we hear a bit of that. So you find say bia for 25-26 no, there's probably about 100 and something thousand now. Ya sign who contracts. What you say at a certain price. Well, that is why you always have an average. What on be 8,200 when you thought the price was good.
Good.
Say I drop it to 7.7 and now 7.4. And now I'm checking, I was around 7.4. Sales I'll be from this time in now 7.4. It might go up 7.7. That is why you always have that average. You have different pricing over a period. And now what the striking average no. What did I mention? I say? So that's how it's done.
Okay.
That's how it's done. So you have different AE over the period. So that's how it's done. Because you see, the reality is that assuming say world price of cocoa, God forbid, assuming say drop it to $5,000, what's going to happen?
Send the government announced
No. How do you do that?
It's more about.
No, I'm just saying, say, what you have promised the farmer is that anytime I ever declare FOB, you're very sure, say, you get the highest, which is 70%. But what you must understand, they say, me, I don't have a problem. Say, young fan say, cocoa ever 5,000. Now buying say, me per se, utia cocoa farmer not to say, 10,000. Me cocoa board. I'm running a company which is wholly owned by government. So government says,
so
all I show government is that if you say I should maintain it, this is the impact. This will be the gap. Please provide the money. But if you are subsidizing, you must provide the funding for the subsidy.
Okay. In your opinion, sincerely, do you think, sir, you're content with now the 3,228.75 now?
What I've said, you see, so is it wrong for a country to have a strong currency? Is the first question I ask. Because the truth of the matter, say, we are giving the farmer $5,040 from $3,100. It so happens, say, your currency, a peja ni mua say, are gaining more than 5 cedis from the US dollar. We sit here in Ghana, we say we are happy. Ghana we are the same people who complain at dollar and baby boy. Ghana, anytime I prefer about price, almost $1. And a dollar no. Now, the city is gaining strength. In the Fourth Republic, who will be that? You can tell me. Because maybe back but me financial analysis and projections, I mean, you saw 15. And I thought I was being modest. Because in this Fourth Republic, a $1 dollar no, CD no again strength accord down see. It will share argument of $1 now. The argument is always that the level of depreciation under my tenure was better than yours. But everybody accepts say it depreciated. But the argument is that who there 300%, maybe there 270, so I did better. Nobody could have thought. The central bank itself, in November 2024, Oma cocoa bought 16 cedis to use. Meanwhile, just 4 or 5 months after that, the cedi was down to 10. Do you get what I'm saying? What is happening now, in the Fourth Republic, you won't be beside. So I'm not sure that anybody, including myself, projected say. So even when I was using 15 for my projection, I thought I was being modest. Because if you look at the history of your Ghana cedi now, the best you expect the government to do is at least obey keeping was 16.
Let's assume, say, now pricing, what other incentives like spraying of the cocoa scholarship, any free fertilizer. Senkasa in Yama way in the Honoma and Kamobe increasing a price and Anna.
I don't think so. But what you need to also know is say, Ufa bit is a free fertilizer. It means extra money for the farmer. Because farmer until this free fertilizer, the farmer was supposed to pay 50%.
50% of
the cost. Under the MPP regime, 50%. It wasn't for free. You're supposed to pay 50% for the fertilizer. The farmer. In the say no, sir, 50% now you're supposed to pay for the fertilizer. No. It's your money. Until Uji or Sikana, you are going to spend because you plant the cocoa before you get the proceeds. To make to buy the fertilizer and other things. Then uton cocoa na sikana obenya na odi akotua odi bi akotua e ka no. It is to say no, that's all savings in your pocket. I hope you appreciate what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, the thing too is about the policy orientation of a government. There's a government that believes, say, if we want higher yields, we want to look at the quality now. We need to provide the fertilizer for free because it be a cost, Inti, say farmer, I also owe you 3 bags craft on a farmer because of cost. Inti, be no akoto 1 bag, and then that can affect your output. That can affect quality. Inti, looking at that bigger picture, Inti, let us give it for free. It is a policy choice of a government, and they made it clear. In fact, that was what they were doing before they left office. A new government decided, say, as for yan free, it will be subsidized. And then this government says that no, we believe that the free is the best option out. Whichever way, the farmer does not have to go and buy it again. Until whatever money ananka equiafo no omode to fertilizer na say no is money in their pocket.
Okay. Meaning said na eba no cocoa farmers na usually unhwe no mo omo passbook omo keep omo records na ade no etimi ma wo access to scholarship for more Emma. Now no edaso ho no mo ana eba na scholarship na kwan be number
titi no na was yeninani CMB scholarship na for secondary school free SHS no ebe render no redundant enti say before I yen beba no na cocoa board previous board no before me free so no mo decide say enti scholarship unit na cocoa board is been scrapped. It's been scrapped. There's no longer a scholarship unit at Cocoa Board.
Scholarship for tertiary and
so it is the president, John Dramani Mahama, who has tasked us to now put in place scholarship for tertiary level because he said now buying it to your secondary. Free first year. But cocoa farmer no bano or secondary school. That's what free first year anywhere.
What next?
What next? Until the president has starts that saying yeah. But obviously, you know, there are a lot of things that go into such a policy. And until now, UTA finance minister now, President Amaya in 25-26 season year to put in place all the modalities and let this thing take effect from 26-27 academic year. Until we have this year to put in place all the structures and everything. And then once everything is done, and it's approved now, then we will announce it. In Shishena, will be announced.
Okay. So, there be genuine cocoa farmers for money being yasa, politicized.
In fact, they are Omanpening, any finance minister, I catch them and they say for wards of cocoa farmers.
Okay.
One can't tell me say me macao. And I say Obi Oyeduma we a bacao.
Meaning say yes, I say Akasani made mention of a cocoa syndicate loan. What happened to it? Mother so Ejiana.
Baby.
Any hobby? Ade.
Say cocoa board sikan sem
no. No, the way we see a transfer and let's have some more.
And no na di rollover the buy.
Loan na di rollover na buy.
So and no na di rollover 23-24 no. That was the last year cocoa board is syndicated loan.
So would we amount me provide cocoa no.
For the first time in the history of Cocoa Board, your BA season in September. Normally, the syndicated loan as your BA season, no? Because syndicated loan no, and your EB, edema license buying companies, no, your friend is seed money. Into yen your mom was asked, and nobody could talk cocoa no MIN.
So like you pre-finance it.
Yes. Now, for the first time in the history of Cocoa Board, 23-24, your BA season in September, only that first tranche of syndicated loan no talk Cocoa Board account. 22nd December.
September.
Your BS is in September.
December.
22nd December, 2 days to Christmas. And a first tranche talk Cocoa Board account. In fact, our season no Sikano Cocoa Board and to me and G. So Cocoa Board even went to Ministry of Finance. Eko G $70 million in order to buy cocoa. That was how the finances and financial sector they were watching Cocoa Board. They knew what was happening with the finances. They weren't confident. When Cocoa Board said that we were going to do 800,000, about 800,000 tons that year, they didn't believe it. And that is what led to the rollover of 333,000. We couldn't deliver. Into 24,
when is that time?
Into 24-25, no. Cocoa Board actually issued their Bruni Freno request for proposals to do syndicated loan. Syndicated loan, EBIO. 24-25. Or issue what is called a request for proposal. That is how it starts. The financial sector, now finance industry, no, almost snobby Cocoa Board.
Wow.
Yes, for the first time in the history of Cocoa Board.
And then I back to
it's not lead to the new financing. So as I speak with you, Ministry of Finance, any Bank of Ghana, have started discussions on a financing model because the IAS say no, it's not sustainable. Increment no akemu omo contracts be 333,000 abe DNSM at 26 and as I say no with where the price of cocoa is no obi abe person be pursue ni 26 no because it makes business cheaper for him. It is our contract 26 no be to me a retrieve here or be bibia to retrieve it. That's one. Two, there's also a global shortage because of swollen shoot no Cote d'Ivoire production drop here about 500,000, Ghana between 250 to 300,000. Until there was a global shortage of cocoa. What you say? Until as we speak, no, you have that shortage and then in so you are able to get them to come and do the financing of the crop. But if Jame enter by end of 25-26, you clear 100,000 a now Obia Rampia production, Cote d'Ivoire person increase, Ecuador increase, Brazil increase, Obia increase. Now there's a global increase in cocoa now. Who would want to take care of the cost of financing for your produce? So that is why we have started discussions on a new financing model, so that we are not caught.
Per a year education, I would my CCA. Idea me deduce a free money say rollover no idea affect them pa. Doc, before minim se mre ede nimu, ba yenhwe nimu say sebia afi be ko na wie ye na fe so na be ma fa ne se mfie 9 eso no ye benya rollover na.
Oh, rollovers are possible. But let me tell you something, because there's a forecast. We have forecast. In Tiamfane say, your forecast is a light crop. You're buying 150,000. I'm using that as an example. Now, at the end of the year, on the basis of senior production, we're 120,000. Say you sign contracts for 150,000. There will be a rollover of 30,000. Like I've said, no, rollovers will occur, but it is the margin, no, and also the price difference.
Okay.
If you take 2016-2017, there was a rollover of 68,000. But that 68,000, no, prices are now a ton, no. It was higher than cocoa already servicing, no. So there was a net gain. But in this case, no, you are talking about a difference of about $6,000 a ton, and a quantity of 333,000 tons. The sheer magnitude. Whether you are looking at volumes or you are looking at value. So in volumes, you're looking at 333,000, unprecedented. In terms of value, $6,000, unprecedented. Meanwhile, by calculating $6,000 by 333,767, and you would see what the cocoa farmer is losing as a result of that decision. So that is the issue. That's the problem. And a DNR 24-25, about 100,000 follow you into 25-26. Nyamiya I don't need to be clear in 25-26. Now for the ABA, you want to for 26-27.
Into the next 4 years, will there be a time I be 64 kg as in cocoa bag, say be drew 6,000 Ghana cedis?
I can't tell. You know why I can't tell? Because one, there are variables that are not dependent on me and Ghana.
Okay.
Ghana and share world price of cocoa.
Okay.
It's always the world price, which is then multiplied by currency. It's the NDC government see as far as on your concern, no, any FOB I bet declare no farmer 70%. But that is dependent on what the price is.
Yes.
And no, it is outside our reach. Inti mayor or true for I don't want to be one of those people on your profit.
Okay.
What did I mention? I say.
Okay. Now on the surprises and the cost through about for much less 70% now. A bit more the Bema farmers in a day.
And no man penny aka.
Until a room maybe my monk can say, oh, say the way I see the next was I depreciate.
So man pennies, so man
dollar na depreciate in a day. Where the ceremony and temperas.
O man pennies is an adwin.
Also best as an
because me here Juma man.
Okay. Don't want it to just say yeah sorry so answer. Containers about 200 BI. I could say. Former
BNI NIB. Omo hwehwem.
Okay.
Omo hwehwem na. About 3 weeks ago, no almost your first 5 cheats be custom for their mine. Yeah, clearing agents for no. Omuko no 5 containers.
Anyhow.
Omo 5 no. It's a baby they may train BNI for report.
na so money di kind be e buy say mo nko na nyom na dey say chit na e ma mo say clearing
customs
says
they say the finance minister intervening because na me person me hu say containers no first of all no bibi wo mu ana na bibi wo mu e den na I expire say na e be ya say e koto ade a me nkoto ade a e wo ho dada that is why na I desperate say me person me hu na e be container no so because we say adwuma na enso na seasonal say we say akate ko at a particular time I say ko aha enti eno na me come finance minister pressure sa na o ma custom for enti am say o ma your first 5 won adwuma yen ko yi 3 weeks ago o mo hu containers no
enti say when na etwa hwan intro
me enti me twen say na before hwehwe me enti o mo hwehwe mu wi bia o meka say ye hu 200 ani ye hu 180 ani ye hu 70 ana ye hu bi ye hu ye nso ne ye bie ye no e na ewo mu ana bi na ewo mu ana si na ewo mu me twen
okay now me pesa wo kan bi kire kokko akuafo a wo mo ehwe yen ebi no messages na dey say me ka say me komo aye wie ne ebi mo say based on nsem e course so nti na ona ma wo kasa ye tenti ama wo ye damage control ahwefo wo mo ehwe yen 3228 me boa.
Yes.
So that's it. Now yes, that's the actual price. Edi ade na wo ka chom say mpo nipa ni susu say anka wo hia boa esene sa.
First of all no. Obi obeka say me kasa e dorso no. Ha me.
Okay.
Because obi an can say ma twantro.
Okay.
To the extent say the amaka nyina e no kre no. Unless obi betimi abe contest say
enye no.
The outcome enye no kre. Na nukra wo mu ne say obi anje ndi achinie say 24-25 $3,100 obi andi hu achinie obi andi achinie say 25-26 no $5,040 the only difference ne say 24-25 no na exchange rate is 16 cedis and then no exchange rate is 10.8 yes enti 3,100 to 5,040 no that's almost a $2,000 increment. That's almost a $2,000 increment.
Dog me but what boy we say so my fa we shall say ye ka $5,040 no eye okuani a wono tie kurase no ebetimi akwa turn it direct enya $5,040 nana
no say by law no obi antumi nkoton koko
enu so ntina
no but even
yebubu mu
but mami sure asem assuming say okuani kra betumi akoton $5,040 na fine okoton $5,040 na ye ma no dollar na osisa dollar na ahin no benya is it not the same thing whether I mean na me koton ma no anaso no ankasa na koton ya is the same $5,040 osisa obenya say is it not the same amount? So we are now saying, say, it is a crime that we have a stronger currency. We are now making it look, say, having a stronger CD, no, is now a crime. It is wrong. Yes. It's America's and CD no was 16 CDs, 5,040, no, 80,600. But yen Ghana for no, a den yepe say yen CD no, ebe wa holding, and I say, yepe say a CD no, ebe yebre. You can't eat your cake and have it. $80 no, ye ton cocoa $1, and ye mayan $1. The $1 na $1 no, and ye destabilizing currency. Into Bank of Ghana no, or mayan cities. 24-25. The ayama cocoa farmers previous abandonment ye $3,100. Under President Mahama $5,040. The difference is that na CD 16 to $1, and then no CD 10.8 to $1. That's the difference.
Okay.
That's the difference.
That's
the difference. Iti young papa ni mama mu ni yenuanu mu a mudi kokokua. Say ade na krom ha no bibia akọ say politics no kra ni da baby kra na edi nam eyi different places and amachire mu no from April. Omampani Mahama MIN directive say although ana CD no conform no yense ntua mo the same cities na namoje no. As a result of that no na aban subsidize cocoa bag no 1,114 cedis per bag because by exchange rate in can say 1,970. In think ye can you use the same exchange rate na 31 by 10.25 na nanka 1970 enti we should be talking about 1970 to 3228 enti yentwa obi antro yentu mfutro enhye obi enim mamo ma ekwan ma obi a entwa montro emfa enye politics no credit e ba akopɛ this year FOB aya declare 7200 last year FOB omo declare 4850 omo am 63.9% ene abama am 70% of that yen seed no e na wa pagya ne ho ama ne ho ayedi ama exchange rate no ayesa but enye so obi esisi ekuafo ana so obi adada ekuafo no kre no de e ba akopɛ medam ase
yen so ye da se doc na ya do you miss the media? So I know official be corner and interview.
I'm trying to be comfortable with their media say and then try and admire more and more Jumano and encourage you to do much better.
Okay. That's it. That's it.
Times and seasons.
It's moving forward. I mean, would there be a time out? I mean, we'll be back to the media.
Only God knows.
The members of politics on I would do as a white job or so.
Ochina de nyame pe na ni mochira
okay, but that's
my sister Nana ya me body sir for over 20 years.
I
time I know PRC
Nana.
No, a big woman pa.
Nice say when you big woman.
Oh, still a big woman. Hey
doctor.
A staffer.
Presidential staffer, no cry. I was for Chief Executive Officer Dr. Randiabe Cocoa Board and yene no abonko mo said odi atumo nim no was sere. Enye se Cocoa Board ACC akuafo ye nyina nyanti ase ene ye sidi na nya hoden pa ama wo bro dollar no eni nti na ema ye hu de ye hu na ban bo sha wo share se obema akuafo 70% out of AFOB no sa pepepe na odi so to bia enkana koma ento ne yem uguso a esha Adekye Nsroma den hu tia wa ba me ne badwafo be sin komo ne edi Ghana ho komo ko bebia ye beba sisia